Hey guys, the lambs are down in the pasture. Oh, before I forget, a lot of you actually had a great idea to use this, since Bella's not, as a shelter for the lambs out of the heat of the summer. That's a great idea. I'm gonna do that. I'll probably move it down here lower in the pasture. Now, when they're bigger, they won't fit in there, but yeah, for this summer, they should fit nicely. Hi, boys. How you doing? Yeah, I know. They're in your house. Just for a little bit. That's better. Just for a little bit. They'll be out soon. I promise. I promise. Well, actually, they won't be out soon. You'll just be in there with them more often. Right? And they will be out soon. They'll be out here in the pasture. So last night, or yesterday afternoon, I was up in the cottage garden trying to get a lot of those seedlings, flower seedlings planted. And I did get quite a few done. There's still more for me to do right now, but ran into a problem, of course. This area that has always given me problems since we started, I found out the drainage is just really bad. The problem is the water, the excess water from up here seeps down into this area, plus the drip down here was going. So I actually temporarily just kind of bent all these drip tubes with their emitters so they won't be putting out water down here. However, then I come out this morning and find standing water. That's what's left of it, but there was actually quite a bit more. So unfortunately, before I plant anything else right here, I feel like I need to address this issue, which means probably working some more compost in and building up the area a little bit so it doesn't just sit in this hole. So that's what I'm going to do right now, I guess. This is the only iris that didn't bloom this year, and you can see why. I mean, it's just sitting in wet clay, which irises hate. All right, so I put a layer of compost and a layer of soil, and I'm going to dig it all in. So that may or may not help the issue. If the problem is deeper down, like I remember when I planted this redbud tree and I dug a hole for it and filled it with water to see about the drainage, it sat in there for hours, the water. That also could be, if you remember, when we went on vacation last year for a week and a half, and then got back and things were dying in here, and I found out that the sprinkler system hadn't run for over a month in the heat of summer, and yet plants still limped their way through, and I didn't notice until after I got home from vacation. That could be why, the moisture holding ability of the soil. So for the summer and no sprinkler system, it's great. For the winter and spring, not so great. On the bright side, the bed right above it is the happiest I've ever been with any flower garden I've ever had. So yesterday I planted some seedlings of, what did I plant? Some lupines, some more of the Verbena bonariensis. I actually moved around some echinacea. We got this big beautiful plant here, and it had dropped seeds all in here, so I moved those and spread them out throughout the bed. This achillea or yarrow had spread into a big mat, and it was affected by all the water. You can see it's very short and stubby, but I took out little pieces of that and kind of pushed it through. So I think what I'm going to do is grab some foxgloves, some more echinacea, the seedlings that have come up voluntarily, and I'm going to kind of put a few of those in here, and then we'll mix in with some of the new seedlings. The new seedlings I have, I've got some gomphrena, I've got some bee balm, and then some late summer fall color with asters and rudbeckia and helenium, and I've got some zinnias as well. Say hello. Good girl. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you're a good girl. It's the next morning. Another overcast day. It rained last night. This is 2 nights in a row here in May. which is great for working outside all day. Not so great when you want the garden to grow faster. You know, last winter was one of the wettest that I can remember in my whole lifetime. And this winter was wetter than normal also. But one thing that was different this year versus last year, my feet were dry after doing homestead chores and gardening with the plants and the grass still wet. I got my first pair of work boots when we moved here, these ones, basically because Bill told me to. I never had any before my whole life. And I was never a boot guy. I like to slip my shoes on and off quickly and get things done. I've got better things to do than loosen up laces to get into the boot and then lace them up and unlace them every time I go in and out of the house. Plus, I love them, but these aren't waterproof. Last fall, I was approached by a company that wanted Emily and I to try their boots. I looked into what they had, and we told them what we tell any company we might work with. Send us the product, we have to try it out for a good amount of time, and we have to love it. So they did. And I've been wearing them for 6 months now, right through the wet winter. They've been so great. I love that there's no laces, and yet they're comfortable and definitely waterproof. I can slip them on quickly to run outside, like when Daisy broke out, and then slip them off easy when I come back inside. In fact, I've seen some other homesteaders using this brand for years, and they love them too. The company is High C. No. Yes. They have a 100-year lifetime service warranty and 100% keep warm and dry guarantee. And Emily loves hers too, but hers aren't quite as dirty as mine. They have tons of styles, and if I could change anything, it would be the style that I ordered. But that was my fault. I had never had anything like these before, so I just ordered some 8-inch ankle-high garden boots. Next time, I'll go with something a little taller. My feet stay warm and dry, but tromping through straw and hay all the time, being low-rise, the hay can get flicked in there, and then it becomes uncomfortable. But other than that, I look forward to wearing these and maybe a taller pair for years to come. I have a link in the video description with a discount for 15% off for our viewers. I know you're going to enjoy them as much as I do. Now let's get to feeding the animals because they're quite noisy this morning. Morning, boys. How you doing? Smiley boys. Watch out, watch out. All right, let me go feed the chickens, and I'll be right back with some hay for you too. Okay, Daisy? She doesn't seem to get the fact that if she's up there and I'm down here, she doesn't know that I'm putting hay in there, so she'll sit up there and moo. You gonna come eat? All right, let's do it. There's a dirty dog sitting up there. She was dirtier earlier this morning. Bella, come on. Bella, come. Bella, come. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. You got dirt all over your face. What hole were you digging? Go show me. Here's one. Oh, here's a bigger one. Oh, man, Bella. What the? What the? Seriously? Oh, and that's the gopher right there that she was going after. You can put it down. That's gross. You can put it down. I'm proud of you, but you can put it down. Yeah, thank you. I think she goes through even more work than I do to get a gopher. So I just came outside because Bella was going crazy barking and realized why. We have a little thief. Somehow she got the bucket of hay down from up there and pushed it down, and now it's all here and she was eating it. Daisy, you little sneak. All right, it's the next day, and I had a little bit of an issue yesterday. Gopher issue, of course. One of the climbing roses that I have on the chicken run, this one right here, there was a gopher mounds all around it yesterday. In fact, he's back. Set 2 traps there. He hasn't tripped either one of them. He had eaten about a quarter of the root ball of this. Hold on, I gotta dig down and see what's going on. Oh man. He's got a tunnel going right under it. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna lose this right before the class. I don't have time for this, but I'm gonna have to dig a trench all the way around this thing and see what I can find. Which I'm kind of freaked out to do because there was a comment on the last video of somebody had dug their hands around in a gopher tunnel and got bit by the gopher. And I've always been worried about that, but thinking, oh, they probably don't do that. Okay, so the tunnel goes straight under the plant and comes out there and then heads back this way, and I think I hit it here with this probe. So I'm gonna put some traps here. I'll have the traps on the other side, so hopefully both exits or entrances, whatever you want to look at it as, will be blocked with traps. I'm going to check these 2 traps to see if he filled them in. Yep. See, they fill them in with dirt. Yeah, both of them. All right, well, I set this trap and I dug out the tunnel there completely and dug out anywhere around the rows that I didn't find roots. And then I'm just going to have to keep an eye on it. I feel like if I keep an eye on it, then I can keep it safe. But I can't stay out here all night. Anyway, I was going to show you what I did yesterday in the vegetable garden. So I planted up the pepper bed. Got lots of different peppers in here. Jigsaw, Fresno chilies, shishitos, 3 red bell peppers. You guys know me. If you've been around a while, you know I've tried to grow a habanada. I had 1 tiny seedling work this year, and I'm babying it so much. I also planted my sweet potato slips. I've got 12 of them here in this 4x4 bed. I think that's the same amount I put in here last year. And then I've changed my mind on this bed. Rather than leave it empty, I have lots of peppers, lots more peppers, and companion plants for peppers. So I'm going to turn that into a second pepper bed. And then that one that's down there at the bottom that's empty, we'll have that be the one that we actually plant for the class, which should be good because in the afternoon these trees will shade that area, so it makes it easier to film. Not like you care about that, but I'm just thinking out loud. Got quite a few things on the to-do list for today. The first thing I'm going to handle is weeding this Mediterranean herb garden. If you remember, it was just 2 months ago that we cut all these back severely. And I thought that right around this time they were going to start to be nice, perfect mounds. They're not blooming yet like the lavender and such, but they look pretty good. So I just need to get in here. We had a gopher here, so it messed up the gravel. So I got to clean that out, try to fix the gravel back, and then get in here and get some weeding done. After that, I'm going to trim back this firethorn bush. It's just getting way too big. And then I want to move this big pot here. It's been sitting here pretty much since we moved here, and it's just right in the middle of this path. By the way, this tool that I'm using is called a hula hoe. A lot of people had questions in the last video. I call it a hula hoe. I know there's several names that it can be called, because a few people mentioned it in the comments. So if you know the other names of this, leave them below in the comments. I will leave a link to this in the video description. All right, how much better does that look? So I've got some artichokes in here. There's one there, one over there, and then this tall one that's blooming. When I cut the rest of the herbs back, I cut back the other artichokes except for that one. Now, these artichokes are all going to come out, all of them, because they're just not good eating artichokes. They're not nice big globes. You can look at this one here, and you can see that even these ones that aren't even open, there's no meat in there at all, and the heart is really small, so we're not dealing with them. We're going to take them all out. I am only going to take this one out today, even though it's blooming and I love the blooms when they start to open. The rest of the plant looks bad, and the blooms aren't worth it for me to keep this, especially with the film crew coming. So I'm ruthless, I know, but this is coming out. And the rest of these artichokes are going to be coming out after the filming. So I want to let you guys know about an idea that we've been thinking about. I think I've got Emilie on board. I'm not going to be planting anything new in here until we figure this out. But the original idea, and I talked about this before, was out here to have an eating area with a covered pergola or something, and then a sitting area. However, in order to get food to that eating area, you would have to go all the way around the other side of the house, come around here through the hedge, or come through the master bedroom, down the hall from the kitchen through the master bedroom. So I was trying to think outside the box. I've seriously got a pressure washer across there and a helicopter up there. Sorry. I was trying to think outside the box. How could we do this? And so I was thinking, instead of the herb garden here, what if we cover this whole area with a pergola, take that window out and put French doors. Then you just have to walk right through the living room and out the French doors to get the food out here, and then have a long table under the pergola for eating. And then out here, we could have a sitting area. We could have the herb garden down here, kind of like a more formal looking herb garden with a seating area. So that's what I'm thinking now. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, not bad. I want to show you guys something. My pomegranate tree is actually blooming. So hopefully we'll get some pomegranates this year. I don't really like pomegranates all that much, but they are Mediterranean, so they fit the theme, and they're a pretty tree with pretty flowers. So, well, I've got the Felcos out, and I'm in a pruning mood. I'm gonna thin some of the apples off of this tree. You want to prune down to 1 or 2 per bunch. I'm also going to prune the tree back a little bit so it stays in its espaliered form. All right, it's time to let the boys out. Looks like they're ready to go. Standing by the gate already. All right, open the door.
Come on out, guys. Yay. Bella.
Really? That it? All right, it's late afternoon. I got another pepper bed planted. The lambs are doing great in the pasture all day. I've been shaking the bucket or the bowl that I give them their food in, their grain in, and they get excited when they hear that sound. So I'm hoping that I can lure them into the corral with that bowl of food. Hi, boys. You ready to go back in? You ready to go back in? Bella was chasing them. I had to beep her collar a couple of times, didn't I? But you stopped. You stopped. All right, got it. Wait. It's working. And right in we go. Thank you, Paula. That was really easy. Great idea. All right, back up at the rows. And I can see that he's filled his hole in there a little bit. So there is a tunnel that goes that way. I just can't seem to find it. I don't know. I'm just going to have to keep a close watch on it. All right, it's getting late. The sun's already down past the mountains in the clouds, but look what I did. Look at the path. No more weeds, except for that pile. No more weeds, except for that pile. No more weeds all the way down, except for the piles. Look at this. I got everything done on my list today. This, weeding these paths, was actually on tomorrow's list. So I'm ahead of schedule. I don't think I showed you this. So if you remember, we had these white pots going down the driveway. But that area is going to be all changing fairly soon. And Emily backed over that one. So we had 5, and 4 doesn't look that great, an even number. So what I'm planning on doing is putting one on each side of the entrance here to this vegetable area. And the blueberries will be replanted in them. And then the same over here by the arbor. I'll have a pot here of blueberries flanking the arbor. And one more thing before I go in. I think if the gopher doesn't eat all these roses, they're going to be loaded with blooms when it comes time to film next week. Look at these. It's covered with buds that look like they're going to take about a week to open. Look at that. I had someone in the last video ask me what this was. It's a climbing rose, and the variety is Perfume Breeze, and it lives up to its name. It's got the best fragrance, and it's strong. All right, going in for the night. See you tomorrow. Just got back from taking Noah to school, And as we passed by the cottage garden, I noticed that the gopher trap with that climbing rose is yellow. That's the best feeling, unless they sneak out of it. If he's in there, I'm going to show it. And I'll show it a little bit better than I did before, because I thought a lot of you were surprised that gophers are so small. I know in the past it seemed like you guys were, some of you in other parts of the country, were calling what we would call groundhogs, you call them gophers. Yeah, those are much bigger than what we have. I can't even imagine the damage they cause. So it looks like there was some digging there. And this is the trap that's set. So let's take a look. Yes! That's what a gopher looks like here. I am going to leave him in the hole and just see what that does. I mean, it didn't seem to do anything over here, but the trash is way down at the street. But I got it! I got it! My rose is safe! Bella's always got to be a part of the action. She thinks since they're eating alfalfa, she's eating alfalfa. Doesn't go down quite as good as beef, huh, Bella? It's early Saturday morning, meaning we have Saturday, Sunday, part of Monday. Today I've got some help coming over. My friend Joel, my nephew Tyler, Noah will be helping. I'm up early though because I have a few things to do before everyone gets here to help. I want to pick up some of the stuff I've had laying around, working on stuff. I've got to shoot a next level gardening video. So yeah, lots to do. The jobs for today are to get rid of the rest of the junk into the new dumpster and to finish this wall and get the capstones on all the stairs, and then just to tidy this shed area up in the background. This dump wheelbarrow here, which is great, the problem is it has no working battery right now. There's a battery in it because I let it sit for so long and didn't charge it. I can't move it now. It's too heavy. So I'm going to see if all four of us guys can move it to hide it somewhere. Otherwise, I might make a little pallet fence around it just to have it blend into the background. I got to say, and this is not sponsored at all, if anybody has had Squarespace, like we used to have that insurance on our phones, and I took it out on this when I bought it. I contacted them because I wanted to see if I could get a new battery under the warranty. And I was on the phone with the person, and they said, okay, we've just credited you for what you paid for it. That wasn't cheap. They gave me all that money back, and I've got it sitting here to keep. Can't use it right now, but if I want to get a new battery for it, I mean, no questions asked. They just gave me my money back for a big purchase. So anyway, I got nothing but, good things to say about Squarespace. So I'm going to end this video here. The next video will be coming out probably Tuesday, which will be the first day of the shoot. And that video will probably just be that final push, getting everything ready. And then if you guys are interested, I'll give you some behind the scenes in the following video about the shoot itself. So anyway, I hope you all are having a great weekend so far, and I'll see you next time.